Welcome all. This is Maten. I'm gonna do a read for the month, and then I'm gonna do the next gate, which is gate 64. I know I'm blurred on the screen, and it's my other computer, and I'm nothing I do changes it, so I'm just gonna leave it blurred like this under my red light. It's kind of weird and strange, but that's all I got. So I set up a chart for you guys to see. This is really interesting. So the month of September, I'll give you guys a little summary. I don't think I'll make the video too long, just a summary so you guys have a sense of the energy for September from an astrological human design perspective. So the main human design perspective I'll have in the gate 64, and that's going to be a Virgo mental gate. And we're going to go through a process of watching our minds go from a state of confusion to a state of solution to a state of conflict to a state of embodying ourselves. And those are all the gates that will lead to the end of the month. And I'll go over that in the next Human Design Gate transit. For this, I'm bringing it up because it's the month of September. We got two eclipses this month, the September 7th full moon um, lunar eclipse. And then at the end of the month, we have the new moon solar eclipse, which is in Virgo. It'll be our second new moon in Virgo. And so if you made a faulty beginning on August 23rd for your new moon purification um, cycle, you can restart it again on the 21st. There'll be some added in focus then at that time as Mars will have moved into Scorpio. Having given some more focus and determination and strength to decision making, especially. For now, though, this is a chart I just pulled up randomly for today. So for today, I noticed a volcano in Hawaii went off. I don't want to pronounce it because I don't know that I can pronounce it. I don't think it's Kauai. I don't think so. Kauai is too small. So it's another part of Hawaii. And so very sad to see if it affects humans. But very amazing, of course, are these kind of volcanoes and those who have the courage to live near such acts of nature. And Trump spoke today as well. He had a speech, and I watched part of it, but it was uh, it was just quite. I was quite in the dark about what is going on. There was a recent uh, kind of social media. I don't know if it was a hoax or exaggeration that claimed that Trump was dead. It's really interesting in a sense to like use clickbait in such a way to it's almost like an act of magic to say someone is dead. I thought that was really strange, especially because he is. There has been some talk of his health and or struggles with good health at this time, and certainly there are some impediments to his health with Pluto and Aquarius scoring his Leo in his chart, his ascendant. And this month is no different. We have a lot of Virgo and all that squares his Gemini sun. And the first eclipse will be 15 degrees Pisces on the 7th. And the second one will be 29 degrees Virgo on the 21st, 22nd. Now I pulled up this chart because it's important to remember that in astrology, there's always echoes. And what I mean by that is when something takes place like an eclipse, you want to watch for that particular degree being hit by other transits later on, which will continue to amplify the energy and bring more of that eclipse out into the world, its hidden nature, expressing it as it moves through in time. So we have the same thing with the moon cycles. Now there are many moon phases, but really we just have the new moon, which is the time for planting and seeding, and the full moon, the time for the fruition of what we planted and seeded. And we have this new moon that occurred at 0 degrees Virgo. Now, if you look here on this chart, we have this is September 1st, so this is about, 9 days after that new moon. But you'll see here that at about, let me make sure I'm being precise here. Yeah, at 0 degrees Virgo, you'll see we have the asteroid Requiem. Now, Requiem is death. And so this new moon in Virgo is the death of our old self. It is us reaching for a new timeline, stepping into a new energetic resonance with who we are at this present. And so it is a death of sorts. And it is also a new moon cycle that will go into March. And that death is related to what we still have, although moving away from, we see Nessus moving towards the Saturn and Neptune conjunction. In other words, Nessus is moving towards the Aries vortex, the Aries vanishing point. And it was recently in the North Node spreading poison into the air. Lots of people having issue with the air, lots of poisons, of course, being spread in the air. And that's very disturbing because this month, we have another marker that I didn't put the fixed asteroids in, but we do also have next to Requiem, we have the asteroid Regulus, the fixed star Regulus, which symbolizes royalty and power. And that was in Leo for many, many thousands of years, and now it's in Virgo. And so it's a fascinating kind of evidence for the uprisings we're going to start to see this month and all across the world. It's already being set up. You could already see it occurring with more and more um, occurrences, especially in England. I was talking to Gary about that. And we're going to do our video on Friday to prep for you guys Kuba's interpretations of the fate of gold, silver, Bitcoin, and the ISO 222 coins. And we asked 4 more questions to Cuba to look at related to the economic financial systems and their changes. And that'll be Friday. We'll hopefully do both videos back to back and then release part one, I don't know if we're going to count it as a part 3 and part 4. We've already done a part 1 and part 2, so maybe we'll call it 3 and 4, or we'll just 1 and 2, since we're focusing on the I Ching divination and the I Ching hexagrams. And so what we're seeing with these eclipses, though, and it's already like very, very much in the news and very much in our faces as the big show for us to watch and to become enmeshed in and to give all our energy away to. And that's the whole setup of um, the conflict between us and the deletes, as Gary likes to call them. And we'll see what occurs. But for sure, September and October and November are looking highly inflammatory, and especially in the sense of economic shifts and changes. And, nothing's going to happen easy. So there will be problem reaction solution setups. So problems will be set up and solutions will be ready and available to accept. And so observe all that carefully. And also, another thing to take account of is just to make sure that you have what you need. Maybe stock up. It does look like with the eclipses that there's going to be, there's some effects with some water asteroids and So there could be hurricanes, tsunamis, there could be more volcanoes. It's already started as of today, September 1st. We see the volcano going off in Hawaii, as I mentioned. Fire occurred tonight through some lightning not far from where I live. And it went out quick. There was rain, so the fire got, and it was put out quick. And then a couple of weeks ago, not far, uh, lightning hit a redwood tree, and that redwood tree exploded. And so you had branches flying into people's house windows and car windows, and yeah, very intense experience. Hopefully, people are okay from that particular incident. So a lot of high strange this month. Very strange weather. You can already feel it in the air as of now. Today, Saturn went retrograde back into Pisces. Neptune will soon go back into Pisces. Uranus is going retrograde in about 5 days. Pluto's already retrograde, and but Pluto's in an out of bounds state, which causes it to be a little erratic. But this particular declination of this Pluto out of bounds is actually going to give power to people, to us, to make decisions by our will and our actions, what we choose to have as our next economic transformative state of being. And so that's really something to look forward to. Anything else to share with this chart? You guys can see the biggest thing is, as I've been teaching, is the Aries vortex, the vanishing point is highly in play. And what I mean by that is the eclipse on the 21st is going to oppose it. The eclipse on the 21st is going to be over here at 2829 Virgo. So it's going to be exactly oppose the Neptune Saturn Aries eclipse. And so that's going to create really just, especially with Mars going into Scorpio, that'll be a time during fall equinox for some, definitely some ritual, some fireworks and some geopolitical events. There's definitely big tension and possible harm and danger being set up, especially with hearing the recent speeches today and people being bullied politically. And so there definitely will be death on the political stage this month and into next month and into November. And November will be the next Mercury retrograde, and it pretty much colors the whole month. October looks like it'll be more of extremes in finances, as this month will also be extreme ups and downs, corrections, and sideways. Uh, it was looking like economically silver and gold and crypto would shoot up before these eclipses, but it looks like it's going to be going up and down for most of the month. In the middle of the month, we have, and I'll share it, a different image. I did do a chart for the September Cazimi, and that's happening. This is the chart for this. I did this for, oh, no, this is not the chart. I picked the wrong chart. Give me a sec. Okay, so this is the chart for September 13th. And as you guys can see, we have the Sun conjunct Mercury in Virgo exact. So Cazimi is when a planet gets burned in the sun, and only its essence for this particular time that it's in there survives. And so in a sense, it's an enlightened Mercury. It's an enlightened mind. And so very psychically powerful for hits, intuitions, and you could see also here that the next eclipse is going to be on Achilles, the asteroid. of spaces where we're vulnerable. You can see currently it's in Virgo at 27 degrees. So another interesting aspect to that later eclipse. This eclipse coming up is going to trine Jupiter. Not exactly, but it'll trine Jupiter in Cancer. And it will conjunct the North Node. So very uh, karmic destined space of energy on September 7th. And see Mars here in the ascendant in this particular chart. So this one I did for London, and you could see here that this is going to be around 9 a.m. It's not exact time for this particular Cazimi, but it's close. And you could see here that Sun and Mercury are conjunct in the 12th house and not too far from the Aries vortex opposition. And the Sun and Mercury Cazimi is also in sextile to Jupiter by 1 degree. And the moon is moving in Gemini towards a square with this particular Cazimi. So a very magical type of energy during this 13th and 14th. So watch out. It is in between the eclipses, and the time in between eclipses is not a good time to begin something new. But it could be energy to initiate change and transformation if such is occurring. And I don't think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to add into the charts. I'm tired of looking at my blurred self, so I'm gonna I remember how I'm going to. Oh yeah, just press video. So let's see if I have any other updates. So I think that's it. I'm gonna put out probably a video tomorrow on the next gate 64 and the human design transits. That'll be for the next 5, 6 days. And that'll encompass the beginning of the eclipse on the 7th. And yeah, so just to give a summary of what I said, so you guys kind of understand, we are going through the big financial transformation that's become hinted at. Looks like it'll be occurring into this month, October, November, more and more changes will be happening. And it's a gradual, I mean, it's not really going to solidify until the Aries vortex completes around February, March of next year. And so right now we're experiencing a kind of reassessment of what we began in March. We're kind of reassessing and our navigation, the direction we've been going in, and looking at what works and what doesn't as Saturn and Neptune retest Pisces before they go back into Aries again and stay there for a long time. And so that's what's happening right now. We're going into Pisces, karmic energy, reflective nostalgia, kind of looking at what was, letting it go, and moving forward. Hopefully this was helpful to all of you. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll probably put out the video me and Gary do on Friday. And so, yeah, see you guys soon.